Last year at Full Throttle, it came down to Rich Wagner taking on James Vaillancourt in the finals. However, it was James Vaillancourt in the UFO Ford taking home the victory. Both drivers are here tonight. Can they find their way to the finals? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Full Throttle. We are all set and ready to go here tonight as 32 of MTA's best monster trucks are here ready to tear up the dirt because they're all shooting for the Full Throttle Championship, and nobody could want this any more than James Vaillancourt, now driving the Liquidator Ford. But he has got to knock off 31 other trucks to go 2 for 2 in consecutive years. We are ready to rip up the floor here tonight for all you fans. Full Throttle 2021 kicks off right now with round 1, and up first in round 1, Dave Snyder in the Carolina Crusher out of Wadesboro, North Carolina, now set to take on Carson Wells in the Devastator Chevrolet staged over in the near lane. These guys will kick off Full Throttle 2021 right here as we get set to go green in just a few seconds. Carolina Crusher we haven't seen in quite some time. He's going to try to upset Devastator as we kick things off. Up and over the cars here. What a ride for Carolina Crusher. What a ride by Dave Snyder in the Carolina Crusher from Wadesboro, North Carolina, but Devastator gets the win. Now next up, Jeffrey Skipper. This is his first time out in a brand new ride. That is the brand new U.S. Air Force Afterburner out of the Johnson Motorsports race team. He is set to take on over in the far lane. That's Jason Cook in the Nitro Machine. Both trucks staged. Here's the green light now down the straight stretch. Skipper's got a lead on him up and over the cars here. Skipper turns it over, but does pick up the win over the Nitro Machine in the far lane. Problems there for the brand new truck. He comes down the straight stretch, as you see in the replay, has a lead out on the WCW Nitro Machine. Watch Skipper right here lose it down there in the shutdown area, turn the truck over. Them guys are hoping to come back for round 2. Next up, Chantel Bailey now pilots the West Virginia Mountaineer. That truck went to victory lane this past Thursday on Thunder with Jeffrey Skipper behind the wheel. She is trying to take over the driving reins and bring that truck back to the top. However, over in the far lane, 9-time Thunder champion Rich Wagner in the Wild Hair Chevrolet. Johnson Motorsports taking on Wells Motorsports, Ford and Chevrolet down the straight stretch. Wagner's got a lead, but Bailey coming back and hangs it on the Jersey wall. Oh my word, what a race. These guys are letting it all hang out as we go down to the MTA photo finish. I'm not sure who crossed the line first here, and it looks like Chantel Bailey will get the win, West Virginia Mountaineer. Now next up in round 1, this is Pop Steve Jones. You guys might know him from the page, driving the Sudden Impact Ford out of Frackville, Pennsylvania. However, Aaron Church out of Sky High Racing in the Bakugan Dragonoid has been nothing but spectacular on the Thunder circuit, dialing in the brand new truck. Here we go now, there's the green light, Dragonoid and Sudden Impact. Dragonoid has a lead on him, Sudden Impact out of shape, and Aaron Church in the Dragonoid machine picks up the win. He will move on to round 2 for Sky High Racing. Now, next up in round 1, we have got Ray ACUNA out of Elkton, Virginia in the Bad News Travels Fast Chevrolet. He is now set to take on Lee Bailey out of the Dodge Camp out of Pontoon Beach, Illinois in Barefoot. This is a classic battle. Dodge taking on Chevrolet. You don't see it too often on the circuit as we go green. Barefoot now taking a lead out on Bad News, up and over No Man's Land. Oh my, look out with Barefoot. The rear end has come out from underneath Barefoot. Lee Bailey in the Dodge Camp letting it all hang out, trying to run down the Chevrolet. And folks, I don't even know who got the win when they came across the finish line, but what a ride there by Lee Bailey and Barefoot down the straight stretch. You see in the instant replay, Ray ACUNA trying to come back on the old Dodge there. Big time air by Barefoot. Look at the body roll right there. Unbelievable, but Ray ACUNA and Bad News will get the win. And what a ride there for Ray ACUNA and Bad News getting his first big win out here on Full Throttle. Tough break there for Lee Bailey, but up next, Donald Price Jr. bringing back Son of a Digger. We haven't seen him in quite some time. Looking forward to see what he can do right here tonight at Full Throttle. However, there is a tough task at hand because over in the far lane, that's the bad boy, Johnny RETLAW and Excalibur, that beautiful square body Chevrolet. Here's the green light now, dead even off the start. Donald Price got a lead on him, but Johnny RETLAW putting down the Chevrolet horsepower. He will bring Excalibur into round 2 action, laying out Son of a Digger right here in round 1. Now up next in round 1, we have got Stinger Unleashed. That's Austin Arabia behind the wheel out of Chris Baluk's Bad Weather Race Camp. he is set to take on one of Maximum Motorsports' finest drivers. That's Justin Lamb, staged in the near lane in Dragon Ice. Both teams look good out there on Thunder this past season as both trucks get set to go head-to-head for their teams. Stinger Unleashed and Dragon Ice now down the straight stretch. Looks like Justin Lamb's got a lead on him, but Stinger Unleashed coming back in the big end. Puts Bad Weather Racing on top of the map over Maximum Motorsports. He put down the horsepower in the shutdown, comes up with the win. Now next up, this is Bruce Briggs in the Just Delayed Jester, now set to take on Crash Test Dummy driven by KIERAN Adams, and the kid picked up his first Thunder victory this past November season in Granddaddy's Ride, the Liquidator. He's looking to do it again, knocking off Jester here in round one. As we go green now down the straight stretch, Jester's got a lead on Crash Test Dummy, up and over the cars. What a wheel stand by Bruce Briggs in the Just Delayed in the far lane, rolling the truck over in the shutdown area. What an incredible wheel stand as we go back and take another look on the MTA replay. Had a lead out on Crash Test Dummy. Watch him go up and over no man's land. So much horsepower, hits the second set of cars, rides it out on two wheels. Look at that. And turns the truck over. A spectacular run. We'll see him back for round two. Now next up, the Crazy Cat, Jason Wook, now driving for Johnson Motorsports Race Team in the Prowler machine. Couldn't seem to get the truck running right all Thunder season long. However, he is set to take on your current Sunday Night Madness champion out of the Diggers Diecast Race Team. It's Corey Marvin and Earthshaker now down the straight stretch. They're even up and over the cars here. Prowler's in trouble, lays it over on its side, and Corey Marvin in the Diggers Diecast Earthshaker looks like he came up with the win. We will have to go down to a photo finish because Prowler was right there. We're going to take another look at it right here. And yes, indeed, Earthshaker moves on to round two action here at Full Throttle. Next up here in round one, we have got Matt Cheever. It's your boy Shaggy back in Gravedigger the Legend. And ladies and gentlemen, I have never seen such a driver with such a huge fan base. He is really loved out here on the MTA circuit. He is now set to take on Chad Legit 2 Legit, another representative out of the Bad Weather Race Camp, Tropical Thunder. There's the green light now. Tropical Thunder's got a lead on him. Looks out of shape there, and Matt Cheever in Gravedigger the Legend comes back and gets the win. Bad news for Tropical Thunder there, getting out of shape in no man's land. Matt Cheever capitalizes, putting the Legend in the next round. Now up next, the Outlaw, Joshua Wells, and a brand new 30th anniversary Gravedigger. The truck was a big hit down there in pit party earlier. He is set to turn it loose right here tonight. However, over in the near lane, that's Livewire champion from earlier this year, Brandon Jager, and that wicked looking Zombie Fire. Both truck stage, here's the green light now. Down the straight stretch, they're dead even. Slight lead to Gravedigger, but gets out of shape. And Zombie gets the win over the Gravedigger. Unfortunate luck, the truck was a big hit in pit party, and I'm sure the Outlaw is not pleased at all, but Zombie gets the win. Now next up, the wild man Ryan Johnson, back behind the wheel of the Brodozer. He is set and ready to go. However, he has got to take on Maximum Motorsports driver Blake Willis and Predator. And ladies and gentlemen, this team rivalry has gotten so big. However, Johnson Motorsports has been always putting it on top. Maximum Motorsports looking to change it right here down the straight stretch. Willis got him off the line, but Brodozer coming back. And Brian Johnson and Brodozer gets the win over the Maximum Motorsports driver Blake Willis. And Predator got a little out of shape going across the line. Brodozer moves on to round two. Now next up, Wells Motorsports driver Ashley AUBE back in the Wildflower, looking good all Thunder season long. She is now set to take on the leader of the K&J Race Camp and the man that won this event last year. That is James Valencourt in the Liquidator Ford. He is looking to put his team back on top at Full Throttle 2021, but he's got to go through Wildflower. Bow truck stage, here's the green light now down the straight stretch. Valencourt got her off the line, up and over the cars. Wildflower coming back. And it looked like she picked up the win, knocking off last year's champion. Wildflower's on to round two. Now next up in round one, Blake Mahoney out of Hagerstown, Maryland in the Overkill Evolution machine. Now set to take on Ethan Medlin out of Maximum Motorsports driving Max D. He is set and ready to go. One-time Thunder champion. However, he is set to take on another new kid on the block. Blake Mahoney in the Evo. As we go green now down the straight stretch, looks like Overkill's got a lead on him up and over the cars. And Blake Mahoney in the Overkill Evolution knocks off Max D here in round one. Next up in round one action, that's JAYLEN Buford, another Maximum Motorsports team representative in the USA 1 Chevrolet. He won the Superior Survivor event just a couple of months ago. However, new kid on the block, that's Jessica Cook in the Little Miss Dangerous 41 Willies, set to take on USA 1. Stage now, here's the green light. Down the straight stretch now, they're dead even, slight lead to USA 1. But it looked like Dangerous came back in the shutdown area as she hangs it on the jersey wall. We're going to have to go back and take another look at the MTA replay. That was a close finish. As you see down the straight stretch, JAYLEN Buford and USA 1 had a lead out on her. But watch right here, planting the horsepower in no man's land. They come across the cars, and Jessica Cook and Little Miss Dangerous knocks off USA 1 here in round 1 action. Now, folks, as we get set to close out round 1, that's Mitch Brown out of Pacific, Missouri in Bigfoot. Now set to take on a Johnson Motorsports driver. That's AYDEN Johnson in the Bro Camino, staged over in the far lane. Mitch Brown in Bigfoot had a phenomenal Thunder season. He's looking to continue the momentum right here tonight in Bigfoot. Here's the green light now. Boat Truck's off to a great start. Bigfoot pulling the lead on him, up and over the cars here. And Mitch Brown in Bigfoot will knock off Bro Camino here in round 1. He puts the big bad Ford up in round 2 action, and the Bro Camino team's gonna pack it up and put it on the trailer as we wrapped up round 1. And if you thought round 1 action was good, get ready for round 2 because we are set and ready to go. 16 trucks remain, and we're getting ready to kick off round 2 action right here, right now, because Jeffrey Skipper brings back the U.S. Air Force Afterburner after turning it over in round 1. What a way to debut a brand new truck, right? But he is set to take on Carson Wells and the Devastator Chevrolet, staged over in the far lane. Wells Motorsports versus Johnson Motorsports. Brand new ride for Jeffrey Skipper. There's the green light now. He's got a lead on Devastator. Up and over, turning it over again. And Carson Wells and Devastator trying to shut it down before getting into the other trucks there at the finish line. What an incredible race. Both drivers letting it all hang out. Skipper turns it over for the second time tonight. As we go down to the MTA replay, down the straight stretch, Skipper had a lead out on Devastator. They come up and over no man's land, some big time air, getting out of shape in the Air Force Afterburner, and right here, Devastator picks up the win. Next up in round 1, Chantel Bailey brings back the West Virginia Mountaineer, set to take on Aaron Church out of Sky High Racing, and Bakugan Dragonoid now staged over in the far lane. He looked strong in round 1. So did Chantel Bailey in the West Virginia Mountaineer, who goes on to round 3 action at full throttle. Dragonoid Mountaineer, there's the green light now down the straight stretch. They're dead even up and over the cars. What an incredible race. Both of them coming across the line in almost a tie fashion. And I'm not sure who picked up the win. We're going to have to go down to a photo finish, and look, your winner is going to be Aaron Church and Bakugan Dragonoid, knocking off the West Virginia Mountaineer. Next up here in round 2 action, Ray ACUNA out of Elkton, Virginia brings back the Bad News Travels Fast Chevrolet. However, he is set to take on another Bad Fast Chevrolet here tonight. That's the bad boy himself, Johnny RETLAW, and the Excalibur Chevrolet, staged over in the far lane. He wants to put the big bad bow tie in victory lane here tonight. Both Chevrolets staged at the line. As we go green, battle of the bow tie in round 2 action. Bad News has a lead, Excalibur coming back, and Johnny RETLAW puts the Excalibur Chevrolet into the next round, putting Bad News on the trailer. Next up here in round 2 action, Bruce Briggs bringing back the Just Delayed after turning it over in round 1 action with a spectacular wheel stand, turning it over, and the fans absolutely love that. He is set to take on Chris Paluk's Bad Weather Racing Stinger Unleashed. That's Austin Arabia behind the wheel. Both trucks stage now. Who goes on to round 3 action as we go green? Both trucks hard on the line. They're dead even. Up and over the cars here. And Stinger Unleashed turns it over. Austin Arabia trying to run down the Just Delayed, and Bruce Briggs wasn't having it with a smooth pass over in the far lane as we go back here to a photo finish. And we got to take another look at it. Even though he turned it over, Bruce Briggs is your winner. And now the MTA track crew and officials down there to roll Stinger Unleashed back over. You can't say he didn't give it all he had here tonight. Chris Paluk's got to be happy. He tried to run down Jester as the left rear tire comes off the truck. Definitely broke the spindle off. They got some work to do. Next up here in round 2 action, we have got Corey Marvin out of the Diggers Diecast Race team, now set to take on the fan favorite, it's your boy Shaggy, back behind the wheel of Grave Digger the Legend, staged over there in the far lane out of Poplar Branch, North Carolina. Boat trucks set and ready to go here in round 2 action. Grave Digger the Legend, Earthshaker, here's the green light now. Marvin got a lead on him off the line, up and over the cars here, and Matt Cheever coming back, putting down the Ford horsepower, and Grave Digger the Legend, he will move on to round 3. Matt Cheever's looking good here tonight at full throttle. Next up in round 2, we have got Brandon Jager, who knocked off the Grave Digger early in round 1 in the Zombie Fire Machine. There you see him staged over in the far lane. He is set to take on Wildman Ryan Johnson in Brodozer. He's looking to claim his 4th big championship here tonight. Boat truck staged at the line. Zombie taking on Brodozer. Here's the green light now down the straight stretch. Brodozer's got a lead on him up and over the cars. Oh, look out! And Brandon Jager and Zombie with a spectacular roll, but Ryan Johnson and Brodozer get the win. What a race right there. Now next up, out of Wells Motorsports, Ashley Obie and Wildflower now set to take on Overkill Evolution. New kid on the block out of Hagerstown, Maryland. Blake Mahoney behind the Ford in the far lane. Ashley Obie looked strong all Thunder season. Looking to do it again here tonight in Wildflower. Here's the green light now. Wildflower and Overkill down the stretch. Obie's got a lead on Overkill and puts the Ford away. Ashley Obie trying to shut it down. Almost gets into Carolina Crusher there in the shutdown area. Next up in round 2, we have got Mitch Brown and Bigfoot. 5-time Thursday Night Thunder champion out of Pacific, Missouri, looked strong in the big bad Ford in round 1. Now over in the far lane, that's new kid on the block, Jessica Cook, in the Little Miss Dangerous 41 Willies. Hung it on the jersey wall in round 1, looking to knock off Bigfoot as we close round 2. There's a green light now. Bigfoot got her off the line now. Mitch Brown holding the lead, turning it over. Mitch Brown goes end over end in the shutdown area, and Jessica Cook in Little Miss Dangerous picks up the win over Bigfoot. As we go back and take another look, Mitch Brown knew he had his hands full, watched her earlier in round 1. Look at the air by Bigfoot, coming up and over the cars, and right here, hits the other car at the shutdown area, turning Bigfoot end over end. Unfortunate luck for Mitch Brown and Bigfoot here tonight. But folks, we have got round 3 action coming up next after the break. Don't go anywhere, more great racing action to come.
You called down the thunder, well now you got it.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going racing on Christmas Day for Holiday Havoc. We can't wait to see you on December 25th. Now back here at Full Throttle, we're kicking off round 3 action. Carson Wells and the Devastator Chevrolet is looking consistent and bad fast all night long. However, he is set to take on Sky High Racing's very own Aaron Church and Dragonoid staged over in the far lane. He's looking strong here tonight. This one ought to be an old-time gunfight. Dragonoid taking on Devastator as we go green. Both of them coming off the line strong, maybe a slight lead to Devastator. Dragonoid trying to come back, but no! Carson Wells and the Devastator Chevrolet knock off Dragonoid here in round 3. Up next, Bruce Briggs bringing the just delayed Jester back to the line. Now set to take on the bad boy himself, Johnny RETLAW and Excalibur staged over here in the near lane. He's looking strong out here tonight. He's been strong over on Sunday Night Madness, being a 2-time Sunday Night Madness champion. Here's the green light now. Jester and Excalibur down the straight stretch. RETLAW's got a lead on him, but Jester coming back, and what a save there coming across the finish line. Bruce Briggs puts Jester in the semifinals. Next up, we have got Matt Cheever back in Gravedigger the Legend. He's been looking strong out here all night long. He is set to take on Wildman Ryan Johnson in Brodozer. And let me tell you, everybody knows about that truck. If you ain't been beat by Brodozer right here, son, you ain't racing. Gravedigger the Legend, Brodozer. Here's the green light now. Boat truck's hard off the line. Slight lead to Brodozer. Legend trying to come back, but a wheel stand turns it over and looked just like Jester in round 1. Shaggy, Matt Cheever, letting it all hang out in Gravedigger the Legend. The fans are going ballistic. Watch the replay here. He's trying to chase down Ryan Johnson and Brodozer. Goes over no man's land, hits the second set of cars, rides a wheel stand out, turning the truck over. However, Wildman Ryan Johnson and Brodozer are in the semis. As we go down to the track now, MTA track crew and officials down there getting ready to roll Gravedigger the Legend right side up. Matt Cheever always puts on a show for his fans, and that's one of the reasons he is very loved out here on the MTA circuit. You bet he'll be up in the stands in a few minutes signing autographs for anybody who wants one. He's out here putting on a clinic for all these fans. Such a tough break for the Legend team here tonight. They were on a rail. But ladies and gentlemen, we are set to close out round 3 action. Ashley Obie has been wicked fast all night long in the Wildflower machine. now set to take on Jessica Cook in the Little Miss Dangerous machine over in the far lane. Two ladies gonna close out round 3 action. Both trucks staged at the line. Who goes on the semis as we go green? Dangerous cut the light on Wildfire down the straight stretch. They're up and over no man's land, and Dangerous turns it over. And Ashley Obie and Wildfire puts the truck in the semifinal round. Dangerous is going home, and folks, we are set to kick off semifinal action. We started with 32, we are now down to 4. Bruce Briggs and Jester now set to take on Carson Wells and Devastator, and folks, the kid is running strong all night long. However, Bruce Briggs has got to be thrilled. He has taken Jester farther than any time before out here on the MTA circuit. Both truck stage, here's a green light to kick off semis. Jester and Devastator down the straight, they're up and over the cars here. And oh, that was incredibly close. That was incredibly close as they came across the finish line. I'm not too sure who picked up the win as we go back to an MTA replay to take another look. Jester has a slight lead, but watch Devastator planting the Chevrolet horsepower. They come right here to go across the line, and your winner by merely inches is going to be Bruce Briggs and Jester. Now as we get set to close out semifinal action, Johnson Motorsports' very own Wildman Ryan Johnson, owner and team leader in the Brodozer machine, now set to take on Wells Motorsports representative Ashley Obie and Wildfire. Two bad fast trucks all night long, but there can only be one going to the finals. There's the green light now. Both trucks hard off the line, up and over the car, and what a race! What an incredible race! And that's what this is all about. So close across the finish line as we go back to take a look at the MTA photo finish and see who did get the win. It's going to be Ashley Obie and Wildfire knocking off Brodozer. She is in the finals. And ladies and gentlemen, before we get to the finals, we're taking you down to the pits of Gravedigger the Legend. They're tired down and getting ready to load up for the long haul back home. They got a little bit of body damage done to their truck. They put on a heck of a show, made it all the way to round 3 action. Matt Cheever satisfied his fans, and we can't wait to see Shaggy turn the Gravedigger the Legend loose again in future events. Now folks, this is what we all come racing here tonight for. It's the Full Throttle Finals, and we have got 2 top dogs. Jester, driven by Bruce Briggs, taking on Wildfire, driven by Ashley Obie. And ladies and gentlemen, Bruce Briggs turned it over in round 1, but Jester has been on fire ever since. Ashley Obie has been a ball of fire all night long, and Wildfire looking strong here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Jester takes on Wildfire as we go green for full throttle down the straight stretch. They're dead even up and over the cars. Some big time air by Jester. What an incredible race. Bruce Briggs trying to shut it down, and what I should say is his smoothest pass of the night. No flaws whatsoever. Same with Ashley Obie, a beautiful pass in the Wildfire. But folks, we don't know who the winner is. Going down to the MTA replay, you see him down the straight stretch. Maybe a slight lead to Obie in the near lane in Wildfire. Look at the air by Briggs in the far lane, and they come across the line, and Jester does pick up the win over Wildfire here at Full Throttle. And ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, Jester wins the event. Congratulations to Bruce Briggs and Jester. You are the Full Throttle champion here tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, that'll wrap up the Full Throttle event here tonight. We hope you came out and had a great time racing with us. We sure had a blast. Thank you all so much for supporting this channel. Be sure, if you haven't already, crush that subscribe button, and I'll catch you down the road. See you next time.